It was my daughter, Mallory. She asked us for a stopwatch for her birthday. I never suspected anything.
My son Matt started hanging out with a new crowd. I thought they were good kids, but soon he started wearing short shorts and t-shirts with bad puns.
Where'd you get this?
Running nose.
I know.
Every year, 13 million kids try distance running for the first time, unaware that they're beginning a life of chafing and male thigh exposure.
You Dr. Scholl's?
Indeed I am. Has he choose?
Yeah.
Oh, bam. And these right here. Let's try those on for size, huh?
What's this gonna run us?
It's 25.
Give it to him.
Our son Adam said it was just a party, but when we went to go check on him, it was a 5K.
I have no son.
Hey, stop!
I have no son! Don't you even think about coming home for Christmas! You are literally breaking your mother's heart!
Soon 5Ks weren't enough. Started getting into marathons.
What is it? Okay. He just kept getting medal after medal after medal.
His neck.
There's so much weight, it just drug him down.
Every day, more and more of these hoodlums are running the streets. But what are they running from? What are they trying to hide? We gotta get back to traditional values, like walking, sitting down.
I should have seen the warning signs. You know, he was running in place a lot, and he used gel inserts. I mean, I don't even know where you find that kind of thing.
Suspect is being charged with distance running, runner's high, freakish scrawniness. Hey, you keep quiet.
But as the running epidemic spreads, parents and teachers are powerless to stop it.
We took away her running shoes, hoping she would stop, and then we hear about this thing called barefoot running? Is this some sort of sick joke? I mean, where does it stop?
Parents, talk to your kids about distance running. Help them find better hobbies, like video games,
Could you stop it for 1 minute, Matt?
napping, or diabetes.
If you don't eat your donut, you can't have broccoli.
No, Dad, it's gonna slow me down.
I'm worried about you.
In extreme cases, seek medical help.
Your son's tested positive for shin splints.
Chop the leg. Chop the leg!
Distance running. It's a dangerous and slippery slope. Sometimes a healthy life is worse than death.
Come on.
So, believe it or not, I've never been addicted to running. I did have a period of time, or 5 years, that I got addicted to ice cream, but that's a different problem in my life. Have you ever had something in your life that you knew you needed to stop doing, but you just couldn't seem to stop? Now, we joke about things like being addicted to TV or junk food, but we all know there are other things that are more damaging to us. Like, have you ever told a lie to cover something up? And then you had to tell another lie to cover up the original lie, and then you had to cover up another lie to cover up the cover-up lie, and so you just keep going on and on and on, and before you know it, you're lying all the time and you can't seem to stop. Now, maybe you always end up gossiping and talking bad about people, and you can't seem to help yourself. You've tried to stop, but the temptation is too great. Or maybe it's a temper problem, or maybe it's things you do online, or you wish you could stop doing it, but it just seems out of control. This is the nature of sin. Sin is anything you do that damages your relationship with God. Anything that you know He doesn't want you to do, but you do it anyway. And all of us are addicted to sin. Maybe it's anger or lying or greed, but we all have something that we feel guilty about doing, and no matter how many promises we make, we can't seem to stop. We have no control. It's almost like we're a slave to our sin. But our God, who loves us deeply, wants more for us than to be a slave. He wants to give us self-control. In fact, an early follower of Jesus named Paul once wrote to a church about this, and he said, "We know that our old, sinful selves were crucified with Christ so that sin might lose its power in our lives." Paul is saying that when we choose to follow God, we take our old life, and that person who was controlled by our sin, and we put it to death on the cross. Just as Jesus died on the cross, we can choose to let our sin die with him. But just as Jesus had the power to overcome death and rose from the dead, we have been given the power to be free from the power of sin. The power of sin's control dies, and we give control to Jesus. Paul says, we are no longer slaves to sin, for when we died with Christ, we were set free from the power of sin. When you choose to say, Jesus, I want to follow you, you're saying, Jesus, you're in control. What you say to do, I'll do. What you tell me to say, I'll say. You are the Lord, the leader of my life. When we do that, our old sinful life dies, and we are no longer slaves to our sin. We don't have to keep making the same bad choices over and over again. If we choose to, we can be free from the power of sin. We can gain self-control by giving control to God. We're no longer in charge, because when we're in charge, when sin controlled us, we ruined our lives. But now, Jesus is in charge. Whatever he says goes. This is what it means to follow Jesus. So talk in your groups today about what it means to no longer be a slave to sin, and then we'll move on.